Want to read a tweet with me? This tweet says, everyone should read the indictment. It names anarchism, collectivism, mutual aid, and protecting the environment at all costs as fundamental ideologies and practices of what they're calling terrorism. People who handed out flyers are indicted with RICO. So if you don't know, this is pertaining the Stop Cop City protests that are happening in Atlanta, also known as Walani Forest. To catch you up to date, the police in Atlanta are proposing to create a city that is basically a training center for the police. So instead of spending millions, billions of dollars on resources and funding for lower income communities, they are building a cop city. People who have been involved in this fight, 60 people have been indicted. They are all being charged with terrorism charges. These 60 people have been hit with a RICO charge. What is a RICO charge? The Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, RICO, of 1970 seeks to strengthen the legal tools in evidence gathering by establishing new penal prohibitions and providing enhanced sanctions and new remedies for dealing with unlawful activities of those engaged in organized crime. People are definitely worried that this is setting up precedent for future organizing, what it means for future organizing against police violence. Or sorry, that's a misnomer, policing. I guess the burning bitter question for me is, when are y'all going to stop throwing anarchism under the bus? Autonomous self-organization under the bus. Like, when are you yourself going to stop vilifying the people who are consistently targeted for doing things like revolting and resisting against efforts like Cop City? Because like mutual aid, collectivism, these are all anarchistic endeavors. These are all tenets of anarchism. Hard out here being on the side of history where people will steal your tactics and strategy, shit on your organizing, and then turn around and try to claim and co-opt certain ways of practice and say it's theirs, or say they've been doing it the whole time. The thing they're not going to teach y'all in school is that law and order, no matter what ideology is facilitating said law and order, it will always, always criminalize and vilify stateless self-organization, autonomy. And that is because it has no control over stateless, self-organized autonomy. People who have pushed for this will always be criminalized, and so their practice will always be criminalized. So whatever you want to call it, anarchism, self-to-collective organization, anything that threatens the coercive power of the state is going to be criminalized. Are y'all really still out here thinking that you are going to get free by the right giving and solutions granted to you by the same oppressive state apparatus that is creating these problems? By the same oppressive institutions that are criminalizing and vilifying the people that are challenging power? Stay tuned, because even though I don't have the capacity to organize right now, I am going to continue talking about anarchism. Best believe.
This also criminalizes native worldviews that have ties to land, people who have been protecting and stewarding their lands since time immemorial, who have had nation-states' law and orders imposed on them, are also subsequently being seen as terrorists on their own lands. I think that bridge between anarchism and indigenous worldviews needs to be made, because the state criminalizes both simultaneously. Stay tuned for more political education.